You hear EA got purchased by Jared Kushner and the Saudi Arabian investment fund? $55 billion. Probably not going to lead to that much of a change in the, you know, the shit they're putting out, not gonna lie. There go their sales. Saudi Arabia tries to sports wash like a motherfucker. They do it with real sports and they do it with esports as well. They just had right now they brought a bunch of comics over. Was it Tim Dillon who was bitching about this? Tim Dillon was like complaining. He was saying, "Yeah, they paid me enough that I'm willing to overlook the slaves." And then the next day he was like, "Well, they fucking canceled my ticket over to Saudi Arabia because I mentioned the slavery. It's not like I was going to complain about it at the show or something." Jared Schreier mentioned they do plan to start a massive AI push inside EA to cut costs. Who gives a fuck, dude? Like, legitimately, who cares if AI is being used to make COD or FIFA? What are we missing there? Like, sure, let it all pool over in that industry. It's also bad because it doesn't seem like good debt. What are you talking about? I don't believe in good debt. I'm anti-debt. My colleagues at Bloomberg report that the $20 billion debt in the EA deal is expected to be rated single B, meaning it is considered a junk loan. Nice. All right, well, we're doing private equity shit. EA will remain headquartered in Redwood City. Andrew Wilson will continue to serve as CEO. They're keeping the CEO? Okay. Why is Saudi Arabia interested in EA? They've been doing this shit for everything, man. They've been having so many esports tourneys over in Saudi Arabia. It's a real test for like the moral fiber of the industry.
Video game maker Electronic Arts announcing a $55 billion deal to go private in what is set to be the largest leveraged buyout deal in Wall Street history, led by the Sovereign Wealth Fund of Saudi Arabia. Steve Kovac has more in today's Tech Check. Steve.
Yeah, this is a big one because I really wanted to look, Sarah, into the Saudi Public Investment Fund and all the money it's been spending on gaming as it's been pushing over the years to build a video game juggernaut. It's encompassing everything from the hottest mobile gaming properties to giant esports tournaments out there in Saudi Arabia. Now,
Saudi Arabia is such a mean country. Yeah, but it is kind of crazy how much you can do when your country has a sovereign wealth fund. Huh? Like, not to defend them or anything, but it is pretty cool that they have enough money to burn that they can actually do projects with it. Of course, in their case, it's, you know, a petro-state built on slavery, so...
The WSJ report that came out on Friday initially about this deal sent shares of Take-Two Interactive and Roblox higher on this idea that there's going to be even more consolidation and M&A in the video game space. And if that's the case, the PIF actually already stands to benefit as it's been gathering stakes in major gaming companies for some time now. Within that PIF gaming empire, before today's announcement, it already owned nearly 10% of Electronic Arts, which will, of course, be rolled into its ownership stake in this new deal. It also owns about 6% of Grand Theft Auto maker Take-Two and about 4% of Japanese Nintendo. Plus, it acquired the Pokemon Go game this spring for $3.5 billion and bought the parent company of Monopoly Go, which is a huge mobile game, for almost $5 billion.
Jesus.
It's also sponsoring huge esports competitions like the annual Esports World Cup in Riyadh that's been held the last 2 years. And Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman himself is a gamer and a key driver behind all those deals. And
when are we going to get over this, man? No, we don't. Nobody says like, oh, they're a cinephile. You know, oh, this guy, he's a cinephile. He watches movies. Like, when are we going to see the light of day? When are me and my brothers going to be free?
David Faber, by the way, reporting this morning, Sarah, the PIF is, of course, going to own a majority of EA after this deal closes, with Affinity and Silver Lake splitting the rest. It also comes amid a slump in the video game industry. Just take a look at EA's annual revenues over the last 5 years, relatively stagnant over the last 3 coming out of the COVID lockdowns. And the stock is up only 56% in that period, lagging behind the S&P, which is up about 100% in the same time. And Electronic Arts is going to be taking on about $20 billion in debt to finance its part of the deal, which could put pressure on the company to keep costs down or add more monetization options to their games to juice growth. Now, this deal is not done yet, Sarah. EA has 45 days, according to David Faber, to solicit other offers before taking this one, guys.
Of course, the street, Steve, is anxious to name other names that might benefit from a continuation of this trend. Take-Two gets mentioned, obviously. Yeah. Roblox today. Even AppLovin I'm seeing on some desk notes this morning.
Yeah.
They have so much debt, they're fuck regardless. Honestly, man, who fucking... Look, the indie scene is where it's at, okay? The gaming industry is relatively, at least in terms of like the community response to the games that are played, relatively democratic, you know? It's not like Hollywood where it is so much, it's because you have to like specifically go to a theater to see a movie as it releases. So much is directed towards maintaining a particular format for presentation. With games, you know, I'm not saying the industry is healthy. I'm just saying, just go play Silk Song. Fake gamer, real gamer.